Hello everyone, Roger Buskill here. I'll be your instructor this semester in ELFH 341, Managing Projects at Work. The nature of this class being online is you're going to be in virtual project teams, whereby you collaborate on a project mostly all semester, with each member of the team responsible for a few of the different project elements, or sometimes I call tools. In order to do this collaboration, there's a lot of ways you could do it. Some of you might have access to WebEx or some of those types of online tools from your workplace. But we do have that available built into Blackboard, and it's called Collaborate. And some of you might have used this in other classes. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is demonstrate how to use Collaborate. So you see we have our website open here. So I'm going to come down to Collaborate. I've named the menu item Collaborate Team Sites because when we go to it, you'll see that there's a number of team Collaborate sessions that I have created for the 4 different teams. And right now we have 5 members in each one of the teams. So if you're in Team 1, only your team will have access to that Collaborate session. But what I'm going to, and they all work the same way. So in other words, if I'll just show you how the layout is. So if I just edit Team 1, now you won't be able to do that, but you will be able to use that session. So if I click Edit the Session, and then I'm going to assign the roles. So you'll see that here are the names of each person that's in Team 1, and you're all added as moderators. So each one of you can take the lead that particular week, depending upon the topic that's involved that you're working on. And of course, I've put myself in each one of the teams also. So that's kind of how the sessions are laid out, and they're good for the entire semester. Notice it starts on, in this case, I've created this one April 29th, but it's good until the middle of August. So I'm going to get out of this. Let me cancel it. And all the 4 teams are set up the same way. So when you come to the Collaborate site, you're going to see your team there. You will click into it, and then. But I'm going to use the instructors room simply. But every one of them work the same way, just to show you the features and how to use Collaborate. So the first thing I'm going to do is click into the session itself. And then click Launch Room. And depending upon how your browser is set up, you might have to, you will have to run a little JavaScripting file called join.collab. In this case, I'm going to save it to the downloads. You notice I have a few of them that I've opened already. So you have to run that, so we'll double click that. Close out my downloads window. And what's going to happen now is Collaborate will now run. You want to make sure that you have your JavaScripting up to date and those types of things, so that you don't have any issues with Collaborate. I'm running the Firefox browser, so that seems to be the one that's most stable. You might or might not have luck with some of the other browsers like Internet Explorer or even Chrome. A lot of us are using Chrome now, or even Safari if you're on the Mac. But I found that Firefox works the most stable. You do have a pop-up here that's a reminder to record this. In this case, I don't necessarily need to record it, because what I'm doing, I'm actually capturing all of this in a screen activity capturing tool called Camtasia. And the reason I did that is you can't record or collaborate within a Collaborate. So I'm using another program to record this entire training session. So, but if you're in your teams and you want to record the session in case someone needs access to it that can't make your team meeting, then you would click Start. But in this case, I'm going to click Close because I'm not going to record this, because I'm recording it with another program. If you've used any of these tools before, they work very similar. It defaults to what's called the whiteboard, which is what's open right now. And you have some various tools here that you can use. So you could do something like click into the text and then select a font, let's say 48, and come up here and just type something in. So if you were doing something, I'm going to click the pointer icon so that I can select it and move it around now. So you could do something like that on the whiteboard, and obviously there's other drawing tools here too. But one of the nice features of this is to share your desktop or even go to a website. But before we do that, I do need to show you some of the setup features. I suggest that you have access to a microphone on your computer so that you can talk if you're the leader that week. It's not you don't actually have to do that because you do have what's called a chat session here. So right now I'm the only one logged in. So if I type something into the chat room, hello, it shows up that I've said hello. So as each member logs in to the Collaborate, their name will actually show up right here. So if you wanted to, if you want to make yourself heard instead of just typing in the chat session itself, you need to click the talk button. So if I click the talk button, you'll notice a little graph starts back and forth. And if you see that, you know that your microphone is not working. And if you don't see that, that means you haven't got your microphone selected. So I'm going to click it again to deselect talk. And what you'll have to do is come up to Tools, and then Audio, and then go to Microphone Settings, and make sure your built-in microphone, or even if you have an external microphone, you want to make sure that that is selected. And then you can also test it if you wish. But then you can simply just come back, click the talk, and if you've got the little graph there that you know that your audio is being part of the session. You actually can use video. I don't really recommend that. It does take a lot of bandwidth. But one at a time, you could probably do that. So I do have my built-in camera ready to go. So if I click the video, it's going to come up with a little preview, and it shows, you know, that it's not full motion video, but it does pretty good if you wanted to use something like that. But there again, I recommend that you don't use that, so I'm going to deselect the video right now. But you could use that as a quick introduction if you wanted. So now that we're in the Collaborate session and we've gone over how to use the talk button, and another comment about the talk button, if you're going to talk, obviously you want to click the talk button, but if someone raises their hand, which is right here, that means they want to say something. So you would deselect the talk button by clicking it off, and the other person that wants to talk would click their talk button. That way you wouldn't have more than one microphone being on at the same time. And the same thing with video, of course. Well, like I said, the main way you will be using this is whoever is the leader for that week would click their talk button, and then everyone else would either use the chat room or raise their hand and then click their talk button. So that's kind of how you're going to communicate one-on-many, if you will, with Collaborate. The neat feature about this, like I said, is the file sharing and window sharing capability. So right now, like I say, we're in the whiteboard space, and you can create new pages and such. So I just created a new page, and if I wanted to return, I would go back. But what you would, how you would use this is actually with application sharing. You actually have to have, you should have, say you're going to share a Word file, which you'll be sharing a number of those because that's what your templates are built in. So I'm going to go ahead and open Word just for now. Now, I'm not sharing that with you just yet, but you do see the icon pop up. So we'll let Word. Okay, I've got Word open right now. So now, in order for you to view the Word file that I have open or that application, you come up here and click the application sharing. And then a window opens up that shows all of the applications that are open. You notice I have Firefox open. That's the browser that I've used. And there's Microsoft Word. So you would select Microsoft Word and then click Share. So now you should be able to see the application Microsoft Word on your session. Like I said, there's a number of different tools. So this is you can make your comments about the tool. Let's see. You would have like your let's see if I can open one up. I'm going to go back to and actually open one of the tools. So I'm going to go back to resources. And this is a little bit about how to use the website also. Something called project templates. And we're actually going to download one. So you're going to use a form called SWOT analysis. So if I click that, it's going to open up into Word. So you should be able to see the SWOT analysis tool. So I can enlarge that a little bit. So how you would normally do this is the person responsible for the SWOT for that week or for that particular tool would have everything filled in as best they could, and then you would start making comments about each part of that particular tool. So that's one way of collaborating by using the file sharing. Of course, you can do the same thing with PowerPoint, Excel, any of the different programs that you would normally have this open before you actually try to share it. I didn't actually have this one open. That's why I had to go and open Word and then open that file. So now you would be able to see this. So that's how you would collaborate. So what you would do then is I'm going to toggle back to collaborate, and I'm going to stop application sharing by going to the menu and click stop sharing, and then I'm going to click the whiteboard. So I closed out application sharing and then went back to the whiteboard. But there's another nice feature. If you have a website that you want to share, you would come up here and click web tour. You would either have that site already called up, or you could just type it in. In this case, I'm just picking anything. So if I typed in yahoo.com, and I'm now sharing that website. Of course, any website that you would have up, and it works pretty nice. You can actually play any of the features that you would have, such as maybe a video or YouTube or something like that. That's one way of doing it, is simply sharing a website. So I'm going to click it again, and so I'm going to go back up here and just click the whiteboard again. So that stopped sharing it, and we're back to the Collaborate session. So that's pretty much how you use Collaborate. You can use it, as I say, to get started. You would have a whiteboard here. and you could type any kind of text or some graphics or such. You would go to application sharing, or if you have a website that you wanted everyone to see, you would take a web tour and type in the URL. Don't forget to, if you're going to talk, you want to click the talk button. If you want to show yourself on the video cam, you would click the video. Like I say, I don't recommend that you keep that on all the time, but it's okay to put a face with a name kind of thing and wave at everybody and play around with it. But you would want to turn that off because I happen to be here at GE and we've got a very high speed LAN access here. But it's not necessarily true when you're collaborating out in the field. So obviously you're not going to be able to do this with a dial-up modem, but depending upon your connection speed, you might have a few little issues, especially with video over this type of collaboration tool. So that's why I say you would probably want to not use the video feature. There again, you would use the chat, and if you want to talk, you would raise your hand, and then the moderator would turn their talk button off, and then you would turn your talk button on. When you're finished, make sure you turn your talk button off. And that's pretty much how you use Collaborate. So what I'm going to do now is close this out. So I just simply close the session. I'm going to toggle back to Firefox, and you notice we're back to actually the last screen that we started with. So that's how to use Collaborate, and we'll be able to practice with this some. And so that's all for now, and I will be talking with you later.